I've always had a really fuzzy memory about a game that I played when I was young on the PlayStation 1. I knew that it was a racing game and that the title was somewhere close to Micro Mini Racers. I searched everywhere for it but had no luck. But pretty recently I actually discovered that the title name was Micro Maniacs Racing. So now knowing the actual title, I was able to go search for it at a local game store, and sure enough, I found it. And though my memories of this game are pretty vague, I do remember it being pretty good. So now, being older, yet only slightly smarter, it's time to see if this game is actually as good as I remember it. Probably not, but we'll see.
Whoa, it's crazy seeing this intro. You know those things you don't even realize you remembered until you actually see it? This is a good example of that. This intro is actually pretty interesting, and right away you can tell that parts of this game are going to be kinda weird. I mean, look at some of these characters. First thing is first, I need to know what the heck is happening. To whom it may concern, the world as we know it is on the verge of crisis. Oil and food shortages abound. Economic chaos looms over the horizon, bringing with it war. However, I have a vision which will save humanity from certain collapse. Let's shrink everyone! Basically, by shrinking the population, there will be enough resources to carry on. However, there has to be a super soldier to lead the way in colonizing the new land. So the characters we play as are part of the experiment and undergo a series of endurance tests, which are actually just the races. Okay, so the plot seems simple enough. Now let's see how these races go. The first thing I noticed are the controls. I didn't really expect much, but they are definitely a little loose. Besides holding X to run, you can also jump, brake, and use power-ups. Also, I noticed that the camera is not very friendly in this game. It's often way too close, making it hard to see anything in front of me. This forced me to focus really hard on the races. Maybe a little too hard.
I haven't blinked in 10 minutes.
The levels themselves, though, are arguably the best thing this game has going for it. Each one is unique and creative. For example, this retro level has us go through a video game system as part of the race. Heart surgery, huh? Well, it is a kid's game, right? So it can't be too bad. Oh my gosh! Well, I seem to be wrong about that. After racing through part of this bloody stage, I run across what I can only assume is a corpse? Also, is that tic-tac-toe on the nips? As creative as these levels are, I'm not sure if it makes up for how hard some of them are. I mean, seriously, I don't know how I even played this game as a kid. Okay, maybe trying to play as a different character will help me? I tried playing as all the characters, and although they are unique, I can't seem to feel a difference as far as how they handle or race. To learn more about these characters, you can view their player profiles. They contain interesting facts about their lives and why they ended up the way they are. While playing, I ended up leaning towards a few of the characters to race as. Among them were V4, Pyra, Vortex, and Beatbox. While I said earlier that the characters were unique, they all share something in common. They got green guts. Eventually I do get better and clear some of the story missions, unlocking some bonus tracks and a new character along the way. Which, by the way, I love lightning characters, so I will be playing as Dynamo from now on. Even though I've gotten better at the game, I am really struggling on beating these last levels. I mean, really struggling.
Did I use a cheat code to make the enemies slower? Yes. Do I feel bad about it? Actually, I do a little bit. And I'm usually really against stuff like this, but oh my gosh, I just want to move on. Move on with the game, and more importantly, move on with my life. Is that such a crime?
Okay, so now that they are slower, I can use Dynamo to win the last races and see what this ending is all about.
Farewell, humans.
Bye, Dynamo. Clearly this game isn't supposed to have a great storyline. The main focus for it is the level designs and racing gameplay. While I think that the uniqueness for this game shines, my goodness is this game difficult. I'll be the first to admit that I'm not the best at video games in general, much less racing games, but it seems like the only way to really be good at this game is to memorize every little detail about the specific tracks, instead of relying on skill, and I'm just not sure if I'm a huge fan of that.
I have been a little bit harsh on some of the aspects of this game, but honestly, I still had some fun playing it. I think the main reason that I'm having these mixed feelings are because it has nostalgia on its side for me, and the game has a weird, undeniable charm to it. If I could leave you with just one sound to describe this game, it would be... You know what? I'm actually just gonna have my friend Dynamo make the sound.
Well,